this is more of that interview with Laura Ingraham, which I don't think went all that well. He was talking about mortgages. This is where really hit the fan for him.
Housing director has proposed something that has enraged your MAGA friends, which is this 50-year mortgage idea. So a significant MAGA backlash, calling it a giveaway to the banks and simply prolonging the time it would take for Americans to own a home outright. Is that really a good idea?
It's not even a big deal. I mean, you know, you go from 40 to 50 years, and what it means is 50, you pay something less from 30. That some people had a 40, and then now they have a 50. All it means is you pay less per month. You pay it over a longer period of time. It's not like a big factor. It might help a little bit. But the problem was that Biden did this. He increased the interest rates, and I have a lousy Fed person who's going to be gone in a few months.
This is the guy that Democrats just folded to. This is the guy that Senator Angus King said, when you stand up to Trump, it doesn't work.
There were two goals, both of which I support. One was standing up to Donald Trump. The problem was the shutdown wasn't accomplishing either goals. In terms of standing up to Donald Trump, the shutdown actually gave him more power, Exhibit A being what he's done with SNAP. So standing up to Donald Trump didn't work. It actually gave him more power.
This dumb right here said, who cares? It's not a big deal. What a big deal? 40 to 50. If you go from 40-year mortgage to a 50-year mortgage, then what's the big deal? You're paying less. He doesn't know anything. He literally doesn't know anything. She even had to correct him and say 30 years, dumb 30 year. But the 30, some people had 40 and then we get to 50. It's not, his answer to a real factual reality-based question is, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I've never had a mortgage. What's that? Never heard of that before. I don't know how those things work. I have no clue, but I'm going to change things up to 50-year mortgages. Here, this is how Donald Trump got to that 50-year rate, the 50-year mortgage idea. White House officials, as she pointed out, are also furious with Bill Pulte, the Federal Housing Finance Agency director, who talked the president into suggesting a 50-year mortgage plan. The White House was blindsided by the idea, they said, according to people who don't want to talk about who they are because, you know, they're going to get fired. And then now they're dealing with this furious backlash from conservative allies, some business leaders and lawmakers, you know, those people that pay him to hang around and give them more money. So once the business leaders start getting on your ass, then now he has to actually answer back. But it's a shame that his answer was, what's the big deal? Who cares, right? Come on, who is this guy? Hey, here's more. On Saturday evening, Pulte arrived at Trump's Palm Beach Golf Club with a roughly 3x5 poster board in hand, one poster board in his hand. The graphic of former President Franklin Roosevelt appeared below, quote, 30-year mortgage, and one of Trump below, quote, 50-year mortgage. The headline on that poster board was, Great American Presidents. And then 10 minutes later, this dumbass posted on Truth Social about this great plan 10 minutes after being presented with something from Bill Pulte. And Bill Pulte is the guy who's trying to convince folks to believe that going after any of his political enemies that went after him for all the criminal behavior that Donald Trump participated in, on this whole mortgage fraud situations that they haven't gotten anywhere on. That's that guy. Here's that graphic. Trump right after this posted it. As I point out, the great American presidents, Roosevelt and Trump, 30-year mortgages for Roosevelt and 50 for Donald Trump. So he posted it on Truth Social and people got to pulling their hair out. And you know what else? Bill Pulte is so stupid. He didn't even realize that, people's hair was on fire, and he reposted it over on X. Thanks to Mr. Trump, we are indeed working on the 50-year mortgage, a complete game changer. We got proposals of 50-year mortgages, celebrations from Kayleigh McEnany about the resurgence of hamburger helper, and then because regular pasta is way too expensive nowadays. But we're in the golden age. Almost immediately, aides were fielding angry phone calls from those who thought the idea, which would endorse a 50-year payback period for a mortgage, was both bad politics and bad policy, a move that could raise housing costs in the long run, is what a person said. I mean, which is what anybody would say. He just sold POTUS a bill of goods that wasn't necessarily accurate, is what that person said. He said FDR did it. You can do it. It's going to be a big thing. But he didn't tell him about all the unintended consequences. Are these guys dealing with a toddler? Are these guys dealing with a 5-year-old who's playing president at home and he has his suit on and he's walking around, he's going, I'm going to bring up 50-year mortgage plans. And then they have to say, I mean, you shouldn't have told little Johnny to talk about 50-year mortgage plans. No one vetted this information before Johnny would run to Truth Social and announce it as one of the main planks of how he's going to rescue the economy that he's fucking up. Isn't it weird? We're literally listening to people be quoted and not hide it, that they're saying someone got to President Trump and spoke to him without us getting the opportunity to make sure he wouldn't do and say something stupid. We're supposed to accept that the President of the United States, at 81, 3 or 4, 5 years old that he is, doesn't know anything. And because he doesn't know anything, let's blame the people that went to him with a poster board with his face on it saying great American presidents, and they convinced him that a 50-year mortgage plan is something he can sell to people. Then his dumbass went on TV and tried to sell it further. Here's the last quote from this article. The thing that became clear from this latest episode, if it wasn't already clear, is that Bill Pulte doesn't know the first thing about how the mortgage markets operate. That's what one of these two people said. After publicly humiliating the president with his moronic 50-year mortgage plan, it's safe to assume that his days are numbered. I remember this party used to talk about personal responsibility, but they said that Bill Pulte publicly humiliated Donald Trump with his moronic 50-year mortgage plan. Not this moronic president humiliated himself by running to Truth Social and posting about a 50-year mortgage plan. The same guy who said he wrote The Art of the Deal. The same guy who says, I'm in real estate. Nobody knows more than me about real estate. Nobody knows more than me about building. Nobody knows more than me about anything. But everyone has to listen and respect that drivel. But then when he gets fooled with a poster board, suddenly it's someone else's fault for making him look like a moron. Keeping in mind what we just went over about his ideas of mortgages and mortgage rates and 50-year plans, the next time he says things are wonderful and your prices are going down and we have this wonderful situation happening, I just got to get rid of that annoying Fed chair. Understand, he has no idea what he's talking about. Similar to him being a liar. Tomorrow, he's also not going to know what he's talking about. A week from now, he's not going to know what he's talking about because for the past 81 years of his life, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like it's weird that has to be the main argument in discussing American politics right now. The president of the United States, literally, like this is not an exaggeration. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything.